Hello, welcome back to Scribbler's Rest. I'm William Tucker. I decided to step out of my comfort zone and be nice to people and have another game at the table. This time around, we're going to be playing Savage Worlds. I decided that we were going to be invaded by the adventurers of the Untold, and because that's where everybody's from except me. And we're basically I'll let Kyle explain it since he's our referee for the evening and stuff. But this evening I'm going to be playing a James Denton faction of the Rippers. I appear to be a gunslinger. To describe him, he's blonde, 27, 6'3", more lean than muscular. He's got sideburns for days. He's armed with a pistol, knife, rifle, and I got $1 to my name.
Hi, I'm Nico Hurta, a fellow adventurer of the Adventurers of Untold, and for today I will be playing Jacob Witlock, English hunter of the Rippers. Hip hip.
I'm Alan Lee. I'm also from the Adventures of the Untold. I'm playing a man named Manuel Gomez. He's a English-Spanish man that is a Ripper. And where's his other thing on
He's
here?
a bit of an adventurer.
And he's a curious adventurer.
I'm Xavier Torres. I'm also from the Adventures of the Untold stream. I am playing
Good luck pronouncing
Georgiano,
Georgiano,
Lemal, English Frenchman, and he is also a curious fellow.
All right, so I am Kyle, the game master of tonight's session, as well as the head game master for the Adventures of the Untold Twitch channel. Tonight we're playing Savage Worlds Rippers Resurrected. So Savage Worlds is the game system, Rippers is the setting. The good thing about Savage Worlds is it's kind of like a toolbox, and you just kind of use different settings. So Rippers is set in the 19th century, London, England for this session, and is essentially a mix of Van Helsing meets like steampunk, sci-fi type, so a little bit of horror, a little bit of sci-fi, a whole lot of 18th century. So you are all part of the faction known as the Rippers. They're a group who fight evil spirits or the things that go bump in the night.
Mm-hmm.
So lately here in England there has been rumors of something that appears to be killing people, and you're called forth to try to figure out what's going on. All right, so you guys are called forth by the leadership to go and check out this, these strange happenings, known as the Paddington beast. Something appears to be killing men in this area.
How so?
Well, they first they're mostly found in alleyways, dark alleys.
Of course.
They appear to have been murdered and then potentially torn apart by stray dogs or something. So the people who have found the corpses have dubbed this the Paddington beast, but we're not sure if it's a murderer or something else.
Right.
Is there any connection between the victims, though, or is it like usually the maybe like the same age group or anything, or is it various?
They appear to be all like very, very close resemblance to each other. Heavy-set gentlemen, bald, well dressed, in their mid 40s.
Okay.
Sounds like he's got a type. This beast.
Mm-hmm.
He or she.
Solid profile.
Sounds like he likes fat cats.
That's one way to put it for sure. So, I need you guys to go down, find out some more information about them. So far, we have one was Buckminster, also known as Buck Nelson. He was the first victim. He's a landowner, relatively well-to-do gentleman.
All right.
The night after, a Charles Lepont was killed. He was a French jeweler who had a shop here. And then the 2 nights after, Lepont...
One second. Okay.
Cut it off?
I can't cut it off. I can cut it out.
Cut all of this out right now.
Well, he's worried about copyright strikes.
Yeah, no, it's completely understandable. That's why it's all good.
What's doing it?
Yeah, what is that? What is...
Next door.
No way.
No, are you kidding me?
That loud?
Yeah.
Dude!
It's next door. It's not me.
Oh, I know it's not you, it's Spanish.
Yeah, it's outside.
Wow, that's gonna make for an interesting day.
Oh boy.
Just impossible, that's all. Yeah. You tell him, Will.
Yeah, that should go well.
That was probably the guy that was outside.
No, he was down. He was like 4 bays down.
Oh, the base that was coming in?
No, there was a dude up there with a Mustang that was looking at us weird as we pulled to the parking lot because he didn't look like he knew what he was doing. So
That's what happens when you turn into the sun and you're blind.
yeah, he was just like shit. And I was like, don't run into the car. Anything but that.
Do follow the lights. It sounded like it was in here.
I swear to God, that
It did.
sounded so loud and clear.
It was.
It was inside this
I thought it was too.
It was right outside. Right outside, okay. And he asked me, well, how long are you going to be filming?
The rest of the
What did
evening,
he look like he was doing?
just jamming.
They're jamming. Apparently, they're working on stereo systems on their cars, and they got like 7 more.
There we go.
Great. Yeah.
Good times. Good times.
Yeah.
Great times.
So we're gonna get random bass drops.
He says he's going to try to get over there to do it. That's
Hey.
the funny thing about bass. It doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
Are you within 3 blocks? Yeah, we'll hear it.
Especially those guys.
Okay. Well, we just went on the difficult setting for filming.
Wait, try to angle that a little bit toward your mouth a little bit. I can go about as loud as I can get you, but
Okay.
you're not quite there.
Oh, you need me to be louder?
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay.
All right. So, about 2 nights after Lepont, an Undertaker named Frank Hughes was killed as well. All 3 were alone, passing through a dark alley or somewhere that they were isolated where they were attacked and no one had seen it.
And this is the same alley?
No, not the same alley. Different alleys, same area though.
Were they intoxicated?
The Paddington area. I wouldn't know. You'd have to go and investigate that.
Of course.
Hughes, so far, he's the only one who is still in the morgue. The others have been buried already.
Do the victims appear to have been robbed?
It appears that, from what I understand, everything was left on them. Does not appear to be a robbery or anything like that. But they were quite mutilated as to not know exactly what they may have had on them.
Pretty vicious.
Do the wounds look like they were random or anything? Or like did they go for the face? Or was there like any specific body part aimed at? Or
It appears that, it was hard to tell because of the how they were essentially torn apart, potentially by some stray dogs or something.
Oh, okay.
Essentially, they were mauled.
Yes. So, we're not quite sure if it was, an attack and then the dogs got there later or what. But someone, after the 3rd one, it has become more of a pattern and a bit suspicious rather than just a simple,
Almost like a
simple
pack
act.
of wolves.
And
Potentially.
these all happened relatively shortly.
Yes, it has been about, it's been the last 3 days, or 5 days. Hughes was killed last night, actually, so.
Alright then, I guess.
You want to go to the morgue?
Yeah, you gotta go to the morgue first, see if you can find any clues from the body, and then maybe canvas the town afterwards if we can figure anything out from the body.
Well, that sounds like a good idea. I will allow you to be on your way, and I'll go back to my business.
Tally ho, let's go, lads.
So you guys venture through the streets. As I said, 19th century. The streets are lit with simple gas lights. Carriages roll down the street, pulled by well-to-do, or horses with well-to-do men inside, of course. London being a rather major facility in the world at this current time.
Is it nighttime or heading nighttime?
No, it is daytime.
Daytime.
Right now. So, yes. So you guys make your way to the morgue. It's very, very rudimentary. Essentially, there's no refrigeration, anything fancy like that. Guys, you guys head is essentially underneath the church. I mean, so you find Father. Well, they call him Father Patrick, but there, and he says, "Well, I was told that you would be to expect you, and you wanted to see Mr. Hughes' body."
That would be correct.
Very well. Follow me. He leads you, through this rather dark, cathedral to the steps that lead down into the basement to the morgue. As you approach the body, he is laying on a slab. Clearly has been mauled quite brutally. He's almost unrecognizable from being human at all. If anyone would like to give me a roll, if anyone has knowledge medicine, you can also give me a
Investigation, maybe?
yeah, you can give me an investigation if you'd like, with a -2.
I'm not having anything.
I
like
don't
that.
see medicine, or I do not see investigation.
Yeah, this is
All right.
a really basic sheet.
Yes, they're novice.
Yep, Jelly Donut got away from this one.
At a -2.
Yeah.
No, I mean, rather than just some the body looks just mangled. There's just pieces, chunks missing. Of course, it appears that he likely was torn apart by a pack of wolves or pack of stray dogs. Really, because
Of course.
in the city it'd be less likely to see wolves.
Mm-hmm.
Does it look like any stray cuts on his body that would lead to say that somebody would be covering this up with packs of dogs?
Go ahead and give me like a notice or something if you have. I don't even know if you would
I
have
have
notice
it,
on
yeah,
that sheet.
I've
Okay.
got notice.
That's good. Everybody should have notice.
To some degree.
Yeah.
It's
Oh,
a very necessary.
And it's
One
smart
there.
to notice, right?
I'm gonna use a penny.
So it's a 6 plus a 6, right? Yeah.
Oh, and I also had.
I do not notice a damn thing.
Yeah, 5. Also, I'd forgotten to mention there is a in Savage Worlds there is a system known as bennies,
Okay.
where essentially you have 3 of them. If you choose that you need a reroll to soak damage, say you take a point of damage and you want to soak it, you can spend a benny to do so.
Okay.
Also, if you do something that I deem as interesting, epic, something that works very well, I will reward you a benny. So,
I rolled a 10.
Good.
okay, a 10. There's no like knife wounds or anything, but you can tell that there's clearly there's claw marks that are not. They're much larger than a traditional dog or wolf or something. They're very large claw marks.
Does he have defense wounds on his hands?
What's left of them, maybe. But it seems that they were pretty heavily bitten, and most of the meat has been removed.
Something larger killed him before these dogs did.
Well, definitely sounds like our line of work. All right. Well, is there anything in his pockets maybe that might give us a clue as to what he was doing that night, or if
That pork chop bone around his neck didn't help. I kid.
It's not a pork chop bone. That's his collarbone.
Oh.
oh,
Pushes it back in.
alrighty then.
So, are you going to try to investigate his pockets?
Yeah, let's try to investigate his pocket.
Investigation.
As you go to reach into his pockets, Father Patrick says, like, smacks your hand and says, "Robbing from the dead."
I'm just trying to see if there would be something to identify where he might have been before the crime.
I mean, I imagine he was likely on his way home.
Not
he
even a
worked,
business
He worked
card?
here in the cemetery, and you can check his home maybe, but what is left on him is what will be buried with him.
And we can't see it at all.
It's just-
If we could find a pattern, just
Look,
a
I'm
little
not
clues and
looking
looking at
to
a map of London, and
Take
then
anything
find
to
out that
the
he might have-
freaking black market or anything like that. I'm just looking to try to solve this case, and if it happens that there is a clue in there, I'd at least like to see it before he takes it with him to Davy Jones' locker.
I suppose, but if anything is missing,
In fact, you may present it yourself. Like, show us what's in his pockets.
no, very well. Go for yourself.
Alright. And in here we have,
You empty his pocket. You find a handful of shillings, of course, currency, and just a handful of other small things. Nothing of great detail that you can discern. Nothing that really would lead to, there wasn't like a piece of meat in his pocket or something that would get him, attacked by stray dogs or anything like
Alright.
that. There's nothing that appears to have led to his attack on him. As a matter of fact, his money is still in his pocket.
obviously not a case of robbery. As I push the money back into
Back into the pocket.
the pocket.
Very well. As you see, there was, disturbing him led to nothing.
Do you know where this man lived?
So, yes, small cottage not far from here. He gives you the directions. Essentially, go up, take a right, take a left. First one on the right, so on and so forth. So he
All right.
points you to the direction.
Thank you, Father.
Oh, before we leave, is he married?
From what I understand, I believe he lived alone, but I'm not sure.
Yes,
Did
I
he-
don't think we saw any rings on those fingers.
Did he belong to any orders, like maybe the Freemasons or anything?
Not that I know. He was a very solitary fellow. He really kept to himself, being the Undertaker.
Never really went to the pubs or anything, or
No, he himself, he was not much of a nightlife. As I said, I imagine he was likely on his way home.
I don't suppose there's anything that could be said about the other victims, whether they had any associations or such.
The other ones, well, I know Buck Nelson was he was a bit of a Lord rest his soul, a bit of a jerk. From
So
what I know of him.
right, and what would earn him that reputation?
Well, he was he felt very entitled. Everyone was beneath him, unworthy and such. I'd seen him kick many a beggar.
So essentially, with a royal spoon in his mouth.
Essentially, yes.
Right.
talk through his teeth. Oh, okay, how you doing? Give me a look at you.
Yes, exactly. Charles was a much nicer gentleman. He was, he's got had a few friends that were, at his funeral, so he'd be one that you may be able to get some information from.
Right then.
Have they been able to pinpoint maybe the exact time, or at least down to the hour that these attacks happen, or is it any time throughout the night?
From what I understand, it's somewhere between 8 and 9 in the evening is when this happens.
All right.
You may want to check the areas that that these attacks happened in.
And do we have multiple locations?
Yes, but they are all in the Paddington district.
Okay. Well, if we could get these marked on a map, then
Maybe we can see a pattern, or maybe the
Yes.
forming of a pattern.
maybe a common point of interest that's not too far from the attacks.
Or maybe something in the center. Maybe that could be its lair, or maybe its
Or a
intent.
common haunting ground.
Yeah.
Alright, and let's see here. So we have the locations somewhere between 8 and 9 these attacks would occur. Anything else you'd like to add, gents?
Well, is this time of year a full moon?